Welcome back to Tool World. This is your host, Mr. Jew, and I'm here with Master Jew.
How's it going there, Mr. Jew?
It's going good.
As normal?
As normal.
All right.
This week we're going to be talking about the student oath. Actually, you gave me a little factoid that was super interesting, that you can only find the student oath in the back of the book.
That's right.
And it's on the back of the ITF lifetime membership card.
That's right. It's weird, isn't it?
It is super weird.
Yeah. One time I was looking for the student oath. Yeah, just looking. I was looking through the book and it's like, where is that? Table of content, nothing. Index, nothing. Mm-hmm. And then it just happened to be scrolling by and found a photograph of the lifetime membership and the front side and the back side. Although I don't see that card very much. Lifetime membership, who has that? I do know some people do have it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's on the back. You want to go over the student oath there, Mr. Jew?
Right. 5 lines here. We got, I shall observe the tenets of Taekwondo. I shall respect the instructor and seniors. I shall never misuse Taekwondo. I shall be a champion of freedom and justice. And I shall build a more peaceful world.
That's right. You know what I find interesting is that many of the students say that second line, I shall respect the instructor and seniors. Well, many students actually say, I shall respect my instructor and seniors. So it's not really correctly, according to that card, it's the instructor. So my immediate instructor, I would consider my immediate instructor would be Grandmaster Wheelie. I also consider President Che as my instructor when I see him. So it's not that we have one particular instructor. We might have one that's more personal that we might talk to on a day-to-day basis, or maybe one that is going to, I would say maybe for recommendation for examinations and stuff like that. I think that's kind of important that we all have an instructor. I never consider not having an instructor. I always consider myself as a student, even so many years. So I'm still a student of Taekwondo, of General Che, of President Che, and Grandmaster Wheelie, etc.
One of the benefits of Taekwondo is the popularity of it, especially because that it's a new martial art. So you're going to have a lot of different schools practicing Taekwondo. And, I think that, you're able to go to so many other different studios and train with so many other instructors that it doesn't always pertain to your instructor, per se.
That's true. I mean, we can learn from a lot of different people, regardless of martial art. I mean, one of the things that General Che would always emphasize is that you should look at other martial art as well. Because one, it will reinforce what you're doing. Two, you might find something that works a little bit better, whatever, right? So we shouldn't be closed-minded. But when we do those kind of things, I think we should always abide by those student oath, right? I shall observe the tenets of Taekwondo, right? And those 5 are kind of important, regardless of how you feel about a style or a person, right? Always have courtesy, right? Always have integrity, self-control, indomitable spirit, right?
Right.
Perseverance. Those tenets, that's the first line, right? The first student oath is, I shall observe the tenets of Taekwondo. And it's not just in Taekwondo, but take that in our regular world, regular life. I think Master Malafite just posted something. He's a HR recruiter, and he recently did a podcast about the tenets of Taekwondo.
Now the 4th line of the student oath is, I shall be a champion of freedom and justice. So what's your take on that?
Well, my take on it is that we should always stand up for freedom and justice, right? Stand up for people that can't defend themselves. But it's a kind of an interesting idea, because what you consider as freedom and justice may not be the same for other people. In other words, what I'm saying is that from my point of view, I think I'm standing up for something right. And yet, from someone else's point of view, it might be different, right? if we're at war, I consider anyone that's with me as my allies, but the person that I'm dealing with is my enemy. Now, if you flip it on the other side, my enemy is going, anyone that's on my side is my ally, and you are the enemy. So which one's right and wrong?
It depends on the side you're on.
That's right. It depends on the side you're on. But for sure, it's not quite black and white, I think, sometimes. Obviously, sometimes it is, you see certain situations where you're just like, oh, wow, that is not right. And you got to defend. You got to defend that freedom and justice, right?
Right.
So, yeah, that's a good point of view, I think.
Well, thank you so much for jumping into another Tool World podcast. Don't forget to leave us a comment, make sure to follow our page, and check out our Tool World Plus program. Don't forget to be safe.
Keep training.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Take one.